Anyway, so I go outside, ice everywhere, Tom. And we're talking, you look at the amount of work it takes. If you've never done it before, if you had a gun in your hand, Tom, you'd probably, a normal sane person would step foot out that door. And if you told them what they had to do in order to not only live, but then to continue fishing for free, possibly, they would take that gun and shoot themselves right away. You'd find out how truthfully everybody is willing to commit suicide, not just some. So anyway, I walk out the door, and my engineer, right, looks at me and goes, "Dude, I fucking can't do this. This is fucking stupid." And I'm like, okay, so here I am.
I'm not going out there. I'm done. I'm not going out there. Like,
okay, so we're just gonna die. All right, we'll just die. Because you'll sink, Tom. You'll get so heavy because each wave creates a layer of ice. Anyway, so I go back up. I go, "It's okay, Tom. Everything's fine. Don't worry about this. I'll do this stuff." And this is like a 6-man job over like a long period of time. So I take Tony up and I go, "Hey, Tony, you're setting the gear."
You're setting the gear.
Already knew. So I give Tony a quick rundown, which I gave him a rundown on the way up. And Tony, I believed him. I mean, it's the same he believed in me 15 years ago. I mean, I don't know why, but he did. And it was the same play. I'm like, "Yeah, well, he'll figure it out. He's gonna have to figure it out." I just make sure you hit F4, Tony, when the pot goes in the water. And if one of us goes over the side, just know we're fucked, because that person's going to be me. So I go out there. Now I've got to break pots, break ice off these pots, right? And so Saul's just filling the bait bag up and closing the door. So I have to climb up this stack of pots, break the ice off, because I don't want Saul up there, because he'll slide off and die. We don't want the potential rapist dying. We don't want to hurt anybody. We don't know. We want to give him a possible chance at his success, which is raping men in prison. Oh my God. Anyway, so I climb up there, right? So I'm climbing from the ground, basically, on top of a roof of a house. I got to break ice on the pot, hook up the crane, and then climb down, bring it down with the crane, land it. Usually you have a couple people to land it. But because it's rough weather, you're trying to land this pot in a small space, land it in there, break the ice off, bait the pot. Then I got to dump the pot when Tony tells me to dump it. Then I got to throw 135 pounds of frozen lime, which is now it's probably 200 plus pounds, because it's solid block of ice. So me and Tony do a whole load of that. By the end of it, it was funny, because at the very end, then the engineer comes out, and here's the guy who's been with me for like 5 years. He's sitting next to Tony, as Tony's now running the boat. Tony went from filling bait bags to now head of the operation. And at the end, the engineer comes out, and Saul, who I do love the guy. He's a young guy. He's just grew up in a rough places where rough things are cool and not cool things are cool. Anyway, so Tom makes me a tuna fish sandwich, and he brings me out a sandwich, and it's this exhausting day for this poor kid and me. And Tom walks away, the engineer, and Saul goes, "I like tuna fish sandwiches too." He basically ran an ultra marathon, and nobody gave two shits about him. I mean,
and but I mean, Tom, the funniest part of the story. So the producers left the camera there, and so during our X debates out there and coming back, my role was to use to put the camera, and Jake was talking. It was just I mean.
Oh yeah, we were also filming each other, because the camera people couldn't come on the boat because there was a quarantine. Oh my God, that's right, Tony. So we had to also
Remember?
film too.
Yeah, we were filming, we're doing everything, and I mean, it's no, but I must say though that Jake said that running the boat is like riding a tractor, and I mean, and I must say that when you're riding up there, it's a powerful engine. I mean, Jake, I mean, it's powerful. I mean, it's really kind of cool, I mean, but yeah, plus, I mean, the most important thing, I just wrote it down, but the cranberry ginger ale is what is magic.
Oh God, we were so seasick, Tom.
Oh my God, we were so seasick, and I'm telling you, that cranberry ginger ale was like magic, wasn't it? I mean, the salt and cranberry ginger ale. I mean, unbelievable. But
do you sailors, do you still get sick in this rough seas, or do you ever get used?
Yeah, they get fucking sick all the time.
Oh, I was barfing too with Tony. The best sailors get seasick, Tom, and you want to know who the best sailors are? Seagulls. Seagulls. They sail all day, but once you get them on that boat, man, they start throwing up. You got to get them off the boat or they'll die.
Yeah.
So even the best sailors. So I always say the best sailors get seasick. So you can see this is a good time to even tell you, Tom, too. This is why adversity and prosperity are the same. Adversity, if you deal with it, is far greater and far more powerful than getting and obtaining prosperity. Yeah. Because through that, what me and Tony became after that trip, unstoppable. Seasick, one man climbing up the stack, breaking the ice, and engineers sitting on the port side talking about, oh, life's so bad. Tony worried for his butthole.
No, but I mean, it was actually, I can't wait to go up there again.
Yeah, dude.
But anyway,
I want to do this again.
Hey, Tom, thanks.
So what's your schedule? When we go and do all of this stuff, Jake, when do you go back out? And Tony's schedule is kind of crazy too, but this was so much fun. I would absolutely enjoy doing another recording session, and then the post-show video we're doing right now.
Sure, we can do something like that. It'd be kind of fun.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
it'd be fun.
It'll be fun. So whenever you guys want to do this again, I love talking about this kind of shit because it's like people don't understand. People don't get how hard life can be. I mean, we're soft Americans. So
So I mean, just hearing Jake and I go, it's do you think that this would resonate? Because Jake and I are trying to form this consulting.
Yep.
And I think those three themes about pitching it to hospitals. One is that, but two is really, I mean, I think the stories resonate. And anytime we can raise awareness of mental health, that's actually a plus. It's because we all three deal with it daily.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't just automatically cure. It never cures. It's a process.
Topic on my show, Jake, is if you look at over the 12 years we've been doing this, is mental health. I've had more mental health professionals on the show because I went through so much deep therapy to figure out my issues, and I'm so grateful to be alive. Yeah, Tony, when you see this, when you hear the podcast, now you see the video and how I'm editing things.
Yeah.
You tell me what you think. I know this is going to be great. I mean, I just fucking know it. So, Jake, you got a green light anytime. If you want to set something up again, in a month or so, and we record because we're a month out. So I'll do the production work and we'll be out in a month. I don't know how you're scheduled, but this is fun. Just sitting here, the three of us, just
fun to do.
it'll be so much better as we get better at this thing.
Dude, it's so hilarious just getting to talk about those stories, because those stories don't come out as much on television, and that's really what my fans and what people like to hear and talk about are those stories.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's when you talk about a neurosurgeon that's like came from like Cornell, and then now he's with this person who has spent time in jail and grew up in a rough neighborhood, who he's now bunk partners with, and the boat rising up, and they really could die, and there's not a sufficient crew. And I mean, that's like one of those, like, I mean, you have those stories when you go out and like they went camping into the Northwest Pass, or they went camping up in the woods. Like, no, these stupid motherfuckers, they went camping out in the Bering Sea in the middle of fucking nowhere.
It's true.
There weren't no trees to hide under.
True.
Oh my God, this is so fucking hilarious.
And the neurosurgeon, I just think of when Tony said to me, I don't know about that Saul guy. He might rape somebody.
Hey, Saul, when Saul sees this, Saul, we love you. I'm sure you're a great guy, but it's all fun. Okay. So.
Oh, Saul, jump in. Saul, jump in on it. So be like, yeah.
We'll be jumping in. That's,
yeah.
All right. Well, Jake, thanks.
Thank
All right, love you.
All right, take care. All right,
I'll
see you
be in
guys.
touch.
All right, take
All
care.
right, bye-bye.
All
All
right,
right.
thanks, Jake. All right.
Thank you, Tony.
All right.
See ya. Bye now. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm still recording this thing. I had no idea this was I kind of had a thought it might, but post-production, I've never had because we've only been doing the Zoom since the beginning of the year this year, you guys. So it's like, okay, how do I edit this? That was the greatest camping story on the Bering Sea ever. And so we're going to make it happen. We'll make it happen. And we never mentioned that Jake was like he's like some big hitter on some TV show and all this. And, he's just another good guy. Like Tony is another good guy. And we'll be doing this again because obviously we had a lot of fun doing it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. And get ready, because when I cut this thing up and you see it all, the clean version, and then the end of show, if you know what I'm saying, woo, baby, smoking. Talk to you next time, everybody. Later. Peace out.